But we start with this, where tear gas and rubber bullets have been fired in Diepsloot, where violence erupted earlier today. Residents are protesting against undocumented foreign nationals, and they're further accusing them of being behind a spate of murders. Let's just now take you live to Diepsloot, where my colleague Masego Ratlaga currently is, and is of course following that story for us. Masego, a very good afternoon to you. I mean, just tell us a bit about the situation there, whether it's still tense, especially with police presence there.
It's very tense, Dumelo. Groups of protesters are mushrooming on different parts of Diepsloot. There is a helicopter that is hovering over the township to make sure that they are actually able to see where these groups are. Because earlier there was one group when we were here at 6 o'clock. Then suddenly there was more people with that group, but then people started forming themselves in separate groups, and that's when police started not to be able to actually handle the situation properly, because most of the time we'd be with the protesters and we'd try to look for the police and they'd be nowhere. But I think they have the hang of it now. Earlier on with the group that we were with, they started to actually fire the tear gas and the rubber bullets at that crowd. Unfortunately, we got caught there, Dumelo, because obviously the police couldn't really identify who's who, even though we had a camera. But I just would like my colleague, we were trying to just walk for you a little bit that other way. That is the group that I'm referring to, Dumelo. On the other side of the police is the group that is more calm. Now, what that group was trying to do was to come to a shopping center called Bambanani. It is on we are actually right there by the shopping center. So I think police got wind of that plan, and as soon as they got wind of that plan, they made sure that they parked right here by the entrance with the police, Nyala, and all those, all the things that they needed to make sure that the crowd disperses. And that is why, as soon as the crowd was very close to the mall, that's when the police started to fire, because they were threatening to vandalize the mall. They were even making jokes and saying, "We're hungry now, we've been protesting since last night, maybe we should go to the mall and get ourselves some food." So that's the situation, Dumelo. As you can see over there, they're still burning tires in the middle of the road. On the other side of that smoke that you see there is the group of protesters that is more angry. We are told that as you go up the road, there is another group that is carrying, and I saw some of those protesters carrying things like an axe. They're carrying nobkiris. So some of them are very upset. Some of them not really knowing, Tumelo, to be honest with you, what the protest is really about. They're bringing more issues of service delivery about Diepsloot. I mean, Diepsloot is an area like Alexandra where, community members are complaining about service delivery, about housing, about water, clean water, electricity and things like that. So that's been coming up as well, even with some of them saying that the main purpose of this protest is about the fact that, or rather what they say is foreign nationals killing some locals here in Diepsloot, and also the fact that a police officer was shot and killed last week Friday. That was confirmed by the SAPS, and the community members say that that police officer was killed by a foreign national. We cannot confirm that, but we do know that a suspect who was arrested for that murder, the police officer's murder, was appearing in the Randburg Magistrates Court today. We're yet to find out what happened with him, if he got bail. The community members are threatening that if he does get bail, they will do something. They will take the law into their own hands.
And indeed, Masego, as we're speaking right now, I did see, the police, Nyala, I did see police presence there, but I also equally see community members, standing on the side, some next to their homes, some walking along the streets. It's almost unsafe for them to do so. So what is the game plan now from the police in terms of whether or not, they will be conducting any arrests from that side of, the protesters that we're seeing there, burning tires and also carrying nopkiris, as you've mentioned, but also making sure that the situation is stabilized?
Well, I must say, Dumelo, the police's plan is obviously to arrest anybody who is doing anything violent, or rather probably looting, because, South Africa has become a country that is known for looting foreign-owned shops every time there is a protest. But I'll show you some, I'll ask my colleague Lebo to just show you some visuals of, the fact that the shops here in Diepsloot, every single shop that we've passed has been closed since 6 o'clock this morning. So the protesters started this protest last night. and I think the foreign nationals found out, and they realized that they needed to leave and make sure that they are safe today. So we haven't spotted any of them. They've closed their shops. Some of them actually closing as we were driving into Diepsloot at 6 o'clock this morning. So we've not managed to find them. But if we do have time, Dumelo, just let me know so that I can get one or two community members to just tell our viewers what it is exactly that they want.
Absolutely. Please, Masero, can we just have the
Dumelo.
conversation?
So I don't know. Sorry, sir. Do you own the shop? Let's start with this guy, actually, Dumelo. I didn't know that. Are you not scared? You know, the community members are saying that they want you to leave Diepsloot.
Before last week, we have a meeting and extension 2, but we spoke about what happened last week. So we never know this strike is going to be happen today. So now we can see even the police, everyone is protecting us. But for now, we don't see any problem. So even I was there next to Boxer and the other shop right that side. So we never see anything that's breaking shops and doing something funny. So people, they are striking on the street.
But are you not a little bit scared because you know what usually happens during service delivery protests, and I can see that you've already closed your shop. That's fine, but what about your life?
Yes, now we don't know what's going to be happening in the night, but we're scared. But we can see that the police around us, and then I don't know what's going to be happen, but we are still deciding what we're going to do. But for now, the community say we're supposed to close the shops, any business, so we did already, but we don't know about our lives. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much, sir. Be safe. Dumelo, that is very different, and I just want to say that that's what we've been seeing in Diepsloot the whole day today. The difference with this protest is that community members apparently, and as you heard from the gentleman who owned that shop, they apparently went around the township warning all shop owners, local and foreign, to please make sure that they've closed their shops today because there will be a protest. So there was warning. This usually doesn't happen. So far, we haven't seen any looting of any shop except, you know, the violence around throwing rocks at people trying to go through, or turning around kids and elders trying to go to work and school. Now I am with community members. Sanibona baninjani? Ngiyaphila. Nenzani laba bayini le enifunayo ukuthi iyenzeke la eDiepsloot? Why ni strike?
I'm part of strike, but in part of communities sizobona ukuthi kuhamba kanjani strike sakhona. Asikhona we emsebenzini today. But sisho ukuthi kusazwe emsebenzini because siyasimoshela strike. Makusenza this time of the day kwenza ukuthi simoshe isikhathi emsebenzi wethu.
Oh, nawe bakujikisile mothi emsebenzini?
Yeah, basijikisile na fene ePitori today. Esechiro ngifike ku emsebenzini today. Yeah. So
I don't know if there's somebody else who will be able to just tell us, were you also turned around from when you tried to go to work today?
No, I didn't try to go to work. I'm a businessman, so I had to close because of this strike. Yes.
Oh, so you own a shop?
Yes, I own a street shop, something like a pawn shop.
So tell me, are you South African?
Yes, I'm a South African citizen.
So but you still were too scared to keep your business going because of the protest?
I was so traumatized, very scared, more than that word itself. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So Dumelo, there, you know, the community member that I spoke to now, just to translate for you, he was saying that he tried to go to work in Pretoria today. He was turned around and he decided that he'd rather stay at home to save his own life. He says that he is with the community members, but he also needs to put food on the table. So he's hoping that there'll be some sort of solution so that he can go back to work and make money for his children.
Indeed, Masero, and of course, in as much as there is police presence there and the authorities are there, we do hope that the officials and government authorities as well will, of course, attend to this matter as it seems to spate back to service delivery within the community, but also the issue of undocumented foreign nationals. And that sounds to be the plea and the plight and the concerns and the anger coming from some community members of Diepsloot there.